Hey guys, welcome back for another video. Oh my gosh, I want to tell you a really special story to me. This one isn't necessarily scary, but it really means a lot to me, and it's a story I've never ever told you guys. This is before my first true encounter and before any of my investigating era or anything like that. This is just such a personal story to me, and I truly do believe it brought me into this field that I don't even know if I can put it to words, but we'll see how I do. I'm gonna tell you about the time that I first felt energy and the way it felt and how it happened and what happened after it. So without further ado, let's just jump into the video. So this was at a time when my grandparents were both in care homes. They weren't living at their house anymore, and my great-grandfather had just passed away. So the whole family got together, and we also went to clear out their house because they were going to have to sell it. And my great-grandfather built this house, and he was so connected to it, and he told people so many times that when he dies, he wanted to die in the house, and he never wanted to leave that place, and it was his home. And so we were clearing out the house and packaging things up and deciding which family member got to keep what things. My mom told me I could pick any toy there that I wanted, and I could keep it. And there was one toy I had in mind. My grandparents had all these incredible toys. Like, I'm talking like Toys R Us to the extreme, guys. Like, their house was full of toys. It was insane. And so there was one toy that I always would play with, though. And I wish I knew where it was. It was this little baby doll that had this little leopard outfit on, and it was just so adorable, and I loved it, and it's truly a really memorable object from my childhood. And my great-grandmother kept it on her dresser in her room that she shared with my great-grandfather. And so I went into their room looking for the toy. I saw it sitting high up, and I wanted to get it. And of course I'm short, so it's hard for me to reach, so I'm standing on my tippy toes reaching for it. And I'm so excited because I'm almost there. And suddenly my entire arm just freezes. And it feels like I'm getting like electrocuted with energy, but it's going through my veins, and I can see like this blue energy traveling around my arm and just like circling it. And I pulled it back, examining my arm and holding it because it felt so cold and so electric and just so pins and needles like. It just felt like crazy. I remember staring at my arm, not understanding what the heck just happened, and there's this box sitting in front of my toy that I wanted, and I didn't know what it was, but after trying to reach for this thing multiple times and just feeling that same energy harsher and harsher each time, not in a painful way, but in a very concentrated kind of way, I asked my mom if she could come and grab the toy for me, and so she comes in, she grabs it, no big deal, and hands it to me, and I'm looking at her like waiting for her to be like, what's that weird feeling? And nothing happened. And I stared at her and I said, Mom, what's that box sitting right there? Is that a jewelry box? And she said, oh no, that's your great-grandfather's ashes. I remember feeling the blood drain from my face as I stared at it, and I was like, what? Because I was so young at this time, and I didn't want to believe in ghosts. And I wasn't like into anything like that, and so I stared at it for a while, and she walked out of the room. I was trying to place it all together, like, did I just feel my great-grandfather's energy? And I remember slowly wanting to reach for the box again, and it's like, as I drew near to it, I could just feel the tingliness in my fingers, like something was just pulling me to it. And I remember finally reaching out again, and feeling that shocking feeling, and just holding my arm there, trying to like, understand it. And it was so weird because it was like I was shaking like that. There's so much energy just rushing through my arm and my hand. And this like mist type thing came from the box. And it was very transparent, but you could see it. And it was floating above the box. And it was like concentrated in this kind of like sphere. Not like an orb, but it was just like, I don't know, this kind of energy sphere. I remember watching it so confused as what was happening, and I yelled for my mom again, and as soon as I did, this energy vanished, and my mom came in the room, and there was nothing there, and then I looked crazy, and I didn't tell her what happened until the ride home. And then not long after that, my grandma, who was there at the time helping to clear out the house, she received a phone call on their old little phone, and she went over to it very confused. I wasn't sure why she was so confused, and she picked it up and she said, "Hello." And you could hear this like old man coming through saying, "Hello, hello." And he was saying her name, "Are you there?" You know, and she was really confused, and she hung up the phone, and it rang again, and nothing came through, and she couldn't figure out what it was. And they checked, and all the phone cables were actually not in use anymore, and they were all shut down, so nobody could even call the house, and nobody could make a call from that house, and there was no possible way it could have happened. And I do truly believe that with my grandfather coming through to tell her he was okay, or just make his presence known, because I felt him, nobody else did. And then we received this call, and it was just so weird. And then I remember all the way home, I was just holding my arm and just staring at it and just envisioning this blue kind of colored energy just going around it, and it was like so weird, because I swear I literally reached right into his spirit and just felt it take over my arm, and it was the most insane feeling in the world. I can't even describe what that felt like. It was like a shocking, kind of cooling, kind of like burning. It was like an icy burning feeling to your arm, and it just went completely numb, and it was just pulsating with energy, but not in a painful way. So much energy concentrated right there. And I know what that feels like now, because I'm sensitive enough to where when I feel an energy, I'll feel that tingly feeling. That's one of the ways I can tell somebody's with me. And that one, I've never felt an energy that strong and that concentrated in one space, and I would give anything to have that experience again. It's insane, because this was before my first paranormal encounter with the toy cat that moved. This was before my great-grandmother passed away, and I was speaking with her on my bed when she was deceased, and my parents saw it. And this was before any of those experiences. So it's like, even at that age, I was like getting pulled into this and having experiences, and I feel like it all means something. It's all leading to something, you know? Even just speaking about it now, I can feel the energy of it, and it's just crazy. My gosh. I do believe that this was because my grandfather was trying to let me know he was with me, and maybe that energy I felt wasn't the concentration of the energy in his ashes, but maybe he was reaching out to me too. You know, maybe he was placing a hand on me. I don't know. Alright guys, well that's my story for today. Not a spooky story, but still a story that is very memorable to me and very personal, so I hope you enjoyed. If you've had any similar experiences to this, please comment below and I'd love to hear them. Alright guys, I'll see you later and have a wonderful day. Bye! So this is my school. Yes. It's getting pretty serious now. I mean, I don't know if you could tell with how close we are, because we're very, very happy. Very, 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 very happy. Ready for this? 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm gonna leave.